Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2020 and welcome back to the Hyper Performance Crew H145. And in today's video, if I just switch these around, we're going to be doing another search and rescue mission. It has just gone nighttime. You can still kind of see little hints of the sun setting there in the distance. We're parked at Ultimate Heliport in Midrand, and we're going to be doing a search and rescue mission in Vonnevoorm Nature Reserve, just other side Pretoria. So I think what I'm going to do is take off, and then I'll kind of explain the goal for today's video and how this is all going to work. So everything looks clear. So we're basically just going to take off, go straight ahead, obviously avoiding the buildings, and then out to the north over Pretoria and Vonnevoorm Nature Reserve is kind of just north of the city center. Right, just make sure that we avoid these lights. Okay, and we can kind of follow this highway all the way to Pretoria if we need to. Now, it's pretty bright out here because of all the city lights. I'm wondering how dark it's going to be over the nature reserve, because the nature reserve is kind of in the city. It's on the outskirts, maybe, but it's still pretty close. So it might actually be kind of bright there. Nice cloudy evening here as well. But let's just chat about the kind of idea behind this video. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a rescue flight where we took off from Vonnevoorm and went out to Nailsvlei Nature Reserve to find a missing person at night using the high intensity spotlight. And that was very, very fun, except for the fact that in the action pack for the Hype H145, I used the random generator to pick a spot inside the reserve to place them. Well, it places an injured person, and the only thing we could do was actually create a car accident. And what ended up happening is we had all the ambulances and fire engines and stuff with lots of bright flashing lights, which made it very easy to find at night. So what I've done now is, after that, I went and created a bunch of missions where I specifically placed the patient. So unfortunately, if you use the random generation, it's always going to give you the emergency vehicles. If you specifically place the patient, you can place, well, just one injured person, which is what I've done here. The downside of that is that you know exactly where you put them in. It doesn't pick a random spot in an area. So having done that a couple of weeks ago, I now honestly cannot remember where I placed them. So that was the idea. Put them down somewhere in the nature reserve, and now I can't remember. So this time we won't have any of the bright lights from the emergency vehicles, which should make this more interesting. It looks like it's actually raining out there. However, what I think is going to make this rescue a little bit different is I think it's still going to be kind of bright because of the city lights. So we shall see when we get there. We might have to use the high intensity searchlight. I am actually for now going to turn off my landing and the normal searchlight, just so that we don't blind people as we're flying over the highway here. Still a little bit of light in the sky, so possibly we won't need to use the searchlight, but we can check out how this scenario plays out in terms of it should just be one missing person. So the scenario is Vonnevoorm Nature Reserve is a place where you can go hiking and cycling, and you're supposed to be kind of out before sunset. And so we've had someone who's gone hiking who has now not come back, and the sun has gone down. So we are going out to look for them, and we are presuming that they are most likely injured in some way, which is why they didn't return. It is on a hill, so we have to see. It's most probably going to be a hoist scenario. I don't think we would be able to land on that slope, to be honest. So that's the plan for today's video. It might, with that amount of light still in the sky, I don't think we're actually going to need the big searchlight, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, the ground is pretty dark. There's obviously in this area a lot of city lights. It will be a bit darker. There's a couple of like apartment buildings and stuff right next to, or literally on the edge of the nature reserve, and then on the other side, more to the east, is like just suburbs. So maybe something like this in terms of brightness. But then again, it is pretty close to the CBD, so it might be quite light. Alright, we're just a couple of minutes out now. 5 minutes, 10 miles to go. Swartkorps Air Force Base over there, and Waterkloof just on the other side. Okay, you can see now as we're kind of getting away from the bright city lights, and I guess the sun is going down even further, and it's more cloudy out the side. It's definitely a lot darker here than it is behind us. So if it's going to look like this, we might actually end up needing the searchlight. Right, if they do need to go to hospital, which is what we're expecting, we'll be bringing them to the Pretoria Hospital, which is actually just in front of us here, just other side this little ridge. And then from there, as you know, I can't remember. I don't think we're returning to Ultimate Hilly. I think we're actually going to go to Wonderworm Airport, which is like less than a minute from the Wonderworm Nature Reserve. In fact, if we come down here, that's what I wanted. That's the Wonderworm Nature Reserve, and there's Wonderworm Airport right there. So nice and close. Yeah, I think this is kind of what it's going to look like out there. So we probably are going to need the spotlight, because yeah, there's going to be no signals, no flares, no ambulances with flashing lights. It's just going to be some guy standing or sitting or lying down out on the side of the hill like that. A bit less trees out in Wonderworm, I think. Right, but first we're gonna go here over the city. This is UNISA, just underneath us, or just off to our right. University of South Africa. Okay, Pretoria CBD just off to our left. And the nature reserve, if you see these hills here, and this gap in between separates the nature reserve. So this is the hiking side over here. In fact, I think we were on this side, that's it. So this is all part of the nature reserve, but the trails where the hiking is on this side. So it's pretty dark on the hill there, almost no lights. And yeah, this is all just kind of suburban residential area. So not too much light being shed on the reserve itself. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna kick on the high intensity searchlight and see if we can find this person. We'll wait until we're other side the residential area before we turn the big lights on. Okay, very dark, so it's anywhere along that hill basically. I don't actually know how far the reserve goes, but it is quite far, I think. Okay, so the hiking trails kind of start here, just other side. I think this is a school here with these fields. And then you kind of go in at the back here, and the hikes go out this way. So I'm just trying to see what's going to be easiest. I mean, it is proper dark, so we'll kick the lights on in a second. Maybe we just go along the top of the ridge. There isn't really any trails on our left-hand side of the ridge. They kind of come up to the top, and the rest of them are all down the right-hand side. So maybe if we start by combing along the top of the ridge and work our way down the right-hand side. There you can see one of the trails there. So let's get the normal searchlight on, and that'll be useful if we get closer to the ground. And then the big light. Okay, let's go for wide beam. And I do have this mapped so I can kind of move it around. Okay, get this out the way so we can see a little bit more. Right, I think that's going to be our best bet. Probably want to actually be a bit higher so that our searchlight covers more area. Something like that. Okay, so this is kind of where all the trails start. So let's kind of just comb along the top of the ridge here nice and slowly. And then we'll come back in the opposite direction. And work our way down the hill. So we'll see. I don't think there are actually any trails this close to the entrance. There's one of the trails off to the right. But they don't start off on top of the ridge. You have to kind of go in and then come up. So there I think we're seeing the trail now. The first one that comes up to the top of the ridge. wondering how far we should go. So if I do this, we'll see. See if we can see where the trails kind of end. So I don't actually know where the reserve itself ends. There are a couple of buildings up here. Right, maybe we turn around by this building. And then head back the other way. And if we don't find him in that section, we'd have to come in there and kind of do the next section. Still pretty thick bush along here. Right, so let's kind of now head this way, but just a little bit down the ridge. I thought I saw something there, but it's just a patch on the terrain. It's quite thick here. If he's in these trees, well, not in the tree, but if he's in the bush here, that's going to be kind of difficult to see. Basically coming up to the entrance again. actually maybe want to just crab a little bit so we have some better visibility. See, now there should be more trails out here. That's why I'm wondering if maybe I actually didn't go far enough. Okay, there's another trail down there. Because my theory would be he's probably near the trail. I suppose unless you kind of fell and slipped down. It's not ridiculously steep here. I don't think you would fall very far down. Unless you were right at the top of the cliff and you fell down there. But if you were walking on these trails here, even if you're injured, I reckon you'd be pretty close to one of the paths, but don't seem to be... Okay, there's another path there. What's that down there? It's one of the houses, yeah. This is about where we turned around. Yeah, it was here. The path is still going along here though. Maybe I should continue. Because the path actually does seem to carry on quite a way down here. Let's see if we can follow that path and see how far it goes. Oh, okay, this is actually a bit tougher than I thought. Okay, now we've hit the kind of dense section again.
Caution, terrain.
Right, I don't think there's any paths that go through this kind of thick bush part of the reserve. Right, so I've done another kind of sweep of the upper paths. So I think what I'm going to do here is join on to... Let's pick up that main trail again. And then check out the path that splits and goes to the lower section of the reserve. I don't think he's on the top of the hill. I've been over there now twice, really. So this is the main path. That is the first one that goes up to the top of the mountain. And then down here, it kind of disappears into the forest and then splits off and goes down. So I've done the one that splits off and goes up. I need to check out the one that goes down, which ends up down here somewhere. So let's maybe do our sideways crab thing.
Caution, terrain.
See, now I'm not exactly sure where the path is because it's somewhere just in the forest there. But we should see it come out a little bit further down. There. Sorry, when I say there, I mean there's the path, not the person. There's something down there by the trees, just in that clearing.
Caution, terrain.
Kind of there in the middle of the spotlight now. Is that him? I think it might be him. Right, if we hover, I think we've done it. Yep, that's him. He's lying on the ground. Okay, we're definitely not going to land there. This is going to be a hoist for sure. If we turn this off, you can kind of barely just see him. Maybe let's keep it on and do this. I mean, we could even do that if we wanted. That's a bit unnecessary. We'll keep it dim. But we need to go here into missions, not maintenance. I did it again. Okay, switch to hoist. Oh, we're actually close enough for them to hoist down. Are we hoisting into a clear patch? Maybe. Oh, okay, I actually wanted to get a bit closer. Is he gonna walk all that way? That is a long way to go. Yeah, we didn't exactly hoist him down in a good place. I wanted to kind of be over there. Should we maybe move a bit closer? This has got a long way to walk. Right, if we keep it there, that should be good. Yeah, at least we're over the clearing now. Maybe we can turn off the very bright. Yeah, that's fine. Our little searchlight is doing enough for them to be able to walk back safely. Why do I feel like we're descending? 36, 35, because we are. Oh, you just teleport to be hoisted up. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, they are in. Why did the light come back on? Right, so now we need to take them to Krunkov Hospital. So let's disengage the auto hover. Okay, we can probably have this off for now. Now, at the Krunclove Hospital, I believe we just land in the parking lot. It's just other side the ridge here. Kind of in line with that tower. The hospital's just other side the ridge that big tower sits on, I think. Okay, so that was quite a bit more difficult than I thought. I think what I'll do is I'm going to cut out a bit of the middle section where I was just flying up and down for like 20 minutes. Otherwise, that might be a bit boring to watch. But it's fun though. It's quite a challenge. You don't realize how small that person actually is until you're out there searching. That is Loftus Stadium. Okay, the hospital's just on the other side of the ridge here, so I think we're gonna do this. And come from that side. Let's get the landing lights back on. And then we'll pick up the main road. It's just off the main road. Come in from this side and then see if we can find that parking lot.
Caution, terrain. Warning, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Okay, so hospital just on our left here, but other side this intersection. Okay, so now we need to find, there's the parking lot. I think it's just somewhere right here on our left hand side. There's a patch over there where that light is. That's the helipad there. Okay. The wind is coming from that way, so we can actually do something like this, I reckon. And bring it in from this side. Wow, I'm nowhere near going into the wind, but this kind of feels like the best angle to get in here without hitting the trees. It's not exactly very level, but anyway, it should be fine. Just have to do this really gently. I think I should go forward a bit more. I can't turn off the landing lights now because I need to have my hands on the controls. Yeah, I think we're gonna sink to the right a little bit. There we go, it's kind of settled. Let's get that off because it's blinding me. And then we need to do idle and idle. That, I don't understand why the lights keep changing by themselves. And this. That's very interesting. I wonder if this is, for some reason, it's trying to do this. I think that's what's happening. Wonder why. how can I stop that from happening? Huh. Okay. I guess we're kind of going to have to do this. Oh, it's still kicking in even if I click that. Okay, that's very weird. It seems like they're ready for takeoff. Kind of preset state just keeps engaging. So we're gonna have to forfeit dropping our patient off and just go and land at Vonnegut Airport, I suppose. Oh well, that's a pity. Never had that happen before. Okay, well, we won't actually be dropping our patient at all. I'm not even going to be able to shut down. We're just going to have to end it like that. Which is weird, because I didn't use that to start. So I'm not sure what's that in, unless I clicked it by mistake. But if you click it, it should just start up the aircraft, and then once everything's running, it should just then be done. So I don't actually know. I've used the ready for takeoff before and never had an issue. Oh, it's just the Union buildings. Anyway. Well, we did successfully find the missing person, which was the whole point of this exercise, so that's cool. Okay, luckily Vonnegut is not too far. We're actually gonna fly straight over. This is the place where we were searching for the missing person. We're gonna fly straight over that into Vonnegut, which is just on the other side of the ridge. And I'll land at the same helipad that we used when we did our nails flare rescue. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the landing lights. If I remember correctly, this one is easier to get into if you come from this side. That hill is quite deceptive. I see how you easily fly into that. When it's just black like that, you're not actually sure how high above it you are. Now I just need to try and remember where this is. I think it's the second taxiway on the right.
Caution, terrain.
So you can see there's two kind of black strips in between the buildings, and I think it's this right-hand one. That's where that corner helipad is. There's a whole bunch of helipads here to choose from. That's the one that's kind of on its own. Okay, 400 feet radio. Okay, I think I can just see the helipad there. Oh yes, there's trees on this side, so we want to come from this side a bit. And then over the wall, or the fence.
Caution, terrain.
It's a fence. Okay, do our best not to stick the tail rotor into the fence. Right, and there we are safely at Vonnegut. Okay, yeah, the landing light makes a big difference. Let's just see, out of curiosity. Yeah, it's not happy. Something has freaked it out. Okay, we'll just leave that as is. Right, and there we go. That is very loud. I think I said the same thing in the other video. Okay, we'll finish it off from here then. But yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I really enjoy these searching at night things. It's actually quite challenging. I'm surprised at how difficult it is to actually find such a small person just out in the middle of a reserve like that. But anyway, unfortunately, we couldn't actually officially complete the mission, but we did manage to find the person and get them safely to the hospital. And so that's going to bring us to the end of this video. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do down below. And I'll see you in the next one.